Man of many mistakes. Today I want to tap in on a lot of things that are said to me about relationships between the two sexes. This isn't restricted to teenage, adult, young adult, older folks, relationships in general. It doesn't seem like relationships today have a lifespan of longer than a month, 2 months, 3 months. To make it a year in a relationship is almost unheard of these days. And I'm saying to myself, why? But I'm hearing more people talk about, well, we broke up, we're not together anymore, I don't know what happened. And it seems like we're so disposable of one another these days that there is no more strength in relationship. So in order to want a relationship and to have a relationship, there's things that you must do. It doesn't just happen on its own. And if marriage is your ultimate goal, there's things you must do. It just doesn't fall into place on its own. It's the hardest job you'll ever have in your life. It takes no days off. It takes no minutes off. But when you find someone that you're willing to sacrifice your time, effort, love, finances for, it's the most beautiful feeling in the world because you feel like you're needed and you have a purpose and it's in that person and vice versa back in you. But a lot of these revolving door relationships and these 72-hour relationships are becoming a problem because it's becoming the norm. And what we're not doing, we're not nurturing nor nurturing the relationship. Our expectations are okay, get the sex out the way, let's get the money talk out the way, all the things that will lead you to breaking up, all the things that you expose in the beginning that the other person will probably use against you should you decide to fall off or should you not show up the way you were showing up. For instance, if you came in with a bunch of money and you don't make that same amount of money in 6 months, the person will use it against you. And that's their out. If you come into a relationship and sex happens to be your the only outcome, well, guess what? That gets old after a while, and now you got to get to know one another. And if you don't, well, it's just another breakup. Chalk it up. Maybe a baby got involved. Maybe a few babies got involved. And the more this becomes to be the cycle, the worse we're becoming as a society. And look at the product that we're producing. Do you believe at one time the family was definitely at the table at 6 o'clock eating dinner together? That was real at one time for Black people. You used to have to be home by 6 o'clock to sit down and eat dinner with the family. And if you weren't there, you'd know about it. There was no being separate in the house. He goes in his room and plays the game while he eats. She goes in her room and talks on the phone while she eats. Dad goes and watches the game while he eats. Mom, she goes in the room and watches the reality shows while she eats. That's where we are now because no one is nurturing the relationships. So when you meet someone that's checking your boxes off, man, I want somebody that's spiritual. Huh? Man, I want somebody that has good conversation. Huh? Man, I wish I had somebody that would understand the way I think. Huh? Sometimes you got to take what's standing right in front of you instead of regretting it later on that you didn't take it. Sometimes you really have to step out on faith and listen to what this is saying and not listen so much to what this is saying. Because this will psych you out every time and tell you not to do what you should have did. This will never lie to you. You want a better relationship, you want healthier relationships, you know the person out there that is for you. You know it. But you also tell yourself, no, there's someone out there better. that there's something out there better, or there's something out there more. No, you've already got what you need. It's right in front of you. You nurture that, guarantee you have a great relationship when sex isn't the outcome. And guess what? You guys get along as friends. You guys get along as partners. You guys get along as president and vice president. You get me? It's hand in hand, the balance. You don't have to just wait for horniness to come so you can have sex and feel good about that person. Now you know in all layers of the person. Allow yourself to do that. Because see, it's not about quantity. It truly is about quality. And it took me so long to learn that. Yeah, I can have 5, 6, 7, 8 girls. Or I can have that one special that checks all the boxes. And I could nurture her. And in return, she could nurture me. And in the hugest return, we can nurture the children. And we break the cycle. I wish someone would have told me